What's going on, guys? Tyler Brandt back here with another video after a long January hiatus. Back, gonna start cranking out some more consistent content, that's for sure, and it's gonna start here in the Patriots offseason. As you know, in the last video, and if you've seen, the Patriots offseason started earlier than most of us are used to, and now comes the offseason content. We're gonna be talking draft stuff, different free agency moves as we get closer to free agency and the draft. And we're going to be having a bunch of fun stuff with that. But I've wanted to talk a little bit about some early offseason moves, some that maybe haven't been covered by a lot of, major outlets. But if you're a Patriots fan, this is need-to-know stuff. And it's time to review what's been a crazy week in Patriot football, even if it's gone under the radar. So this week, I got a bit of good news and I got a bit of bad news. And first, we'll start off with the good news, and that is that it looks like head of player personnel Nick Caesaro for New England, he's staying put. It would appear so, at least, as Houston has now confirmed Bill O'Brien is their new general manager, and that was the job he was linked to going to the most. Last year, remember, he was going to take an interview. Bill Belichick then, denied the interview, and they went a different way. The Houston had the whole tampering thing with trying to get Caesaro, and now a year later, they're going to go a different way. They're going to keep Bill O'Brien on. For what reason, I don't really know, but they're deciding to go in a different way. And the other team that was linked to Nick Caesaro was the Cleveland Browns. A lot of people thought maybe McDaniels and Caesaro, who are very good friends, would go there together and kind of rebuild the program and the franchise there. But they as well decided to go in a different way. They went with Stefanski and a different way with the general manager. So with really no general manager spots open in the NFL and head coaching spots for McDaniels, but mainly Caesaro, it would appear that, at least for now, Caesaro will stay put. I don't know if he was just ready to move on or if there was bad blood or it got toxic, but for whatever reason, through divine intervention or whatever it is, it looks like Caesaro is staying in New England for now. He's been there since 2001. He's been on the field as an assistant coach. He was a wide receiver coach in 2007, the record-breaking year for Brady. He's been all up and down that organization, so it is very good to have some longtime personnel staying, and that's exactly what this second piece of news, the bad news, is. It's about longtime personnel leaving New England. So now we get to the bad news. Like I said, it has to deal with player personnel leaving, or it has to deal with the coach leaving, I should say, and that is Dante Scarnecchia, the very, very long-time Patriots assistant, Patriots coach. I mean, he's been all over the organization for 30-plus years. I think he's the longest or the second longest tenured assistant coach in the NFL, and he is a staple in New England. Now, a lot of people may not know because he's very rarely in front of the camera. He's not really a glitz and glam guy. He's been with this team through every Super Bowl with the exception of the 2014 against the Seattle Seahawks. He did retire earlier, and then he decided to come back. Must have got bored. But he was with New England in every single Super Bowl, going back to 85 against the Bears, 96 against the Packers, all the way up to, most recently. And he's been an excellent coach in all facets. I know he's been a special teams coach for New England. Most of the time, he's an offensive line coach. He's been an assistant head coach. He's been an assistant defensive coach. He's been all over the coaching staff. But it's going to be a big loss for New England. Now, offensive line coaches aren't people that really get a lot of love, but he was the 2007 Assistant Coach of the Year. He had 3 Pro Bowl offensive linemen, all of which you should know: Dan Copen, Matt Light, Logan Mankins. In 2009, Dante Scarnecchia's offensive line had 18 sacks over 16 games. That's the fewest in a 16-game stretch in New England Patriot history. He was the offensive line coach in 2016 when LeGarrette Blount ran for 18 touchdowns. He was the offensive line coach in 2004 when Corey Dillon ran for 1,600 yards and averaged 110 yards per game. He was the offensive line coach in 2018 when Sony Michel ran for 6 touchdowns in 3 postseason games. So he is a staple in New England. He really, really has been. He's been there through Parcells. He's been there through Belichick. He's been there really forever. So it's sad to see him go. It's been a fantastic career. 34 years in the NFL is awesome. But it's a big loss for New England. It's someone that is very rarely on the team, very rarely misses games with the team. I mean, he's been there forever. But it's father time. It catches up to all of us, and it's time for Dante Scarnecchia to go. He's 72 years old. He's been in the NFL for over almost 40 years now. So it's sad to see him go. No word yet on who the replacement's going to be. That'll be something interesting to watch, especially, this last season, the offensive line through a lot of the season was very average. Marshall Newhouse was pretty much a turnstile, and Isaiah Wynn was hurt. But this new guy, whoever he's going to be, he's got a lot of question marks, especially Joe Tooney, who's an upcoming free agent who we'll talk about later on in the offseason. And, Marcus Cannon, who had a bad year. Shaq Mason, who had a rough year. Both of them were on and off injured. So they are going to have their hands full with the future of this organization going forward. Big shoes to fill in Dante Scarnecchia. We don't know who that is yet, but we'll definitely keep an ear to the ground to see who it is. And that's your Patriot update for this week. Nothing too crazy. As the offseason goes on, we'll definitely talk about Brady more. That's probably going to trump everything, but there's a bunch of other free agents that we'll go over. We'll talk about the draft. But as of now, again, a slow week in Patriot land, but these are two big stories that have kind of flown under the radar, but are very big pieces to the future of this team, whatever that future is. And for now, once again, I'm Tyler Brandt. Remember, follow me on everything, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I'll catch you on the next video.